Well, hello. I'm Chef Sharon Van Meter, and I'm here with my favorite Dallas College student, Sharon. You know what we're going to create today?
What?
A French apple cake. And when I went to school in France, I loved this cake, and I thought it would be a great fall addition to our cookbook.
Absolutely.
So you know what we're going to start off with, Sharon?
What?
Apples.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to get you on apples. And you know, we have some Granny Smith here, we have some Gala apples. Whatever's in your refrigerator, use any kind of apple that there is. I mean, I like the flavor of Granny Smith, but I believe in using any apples that you have in your refrigerator.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to get you chopping, dicing, peeling, the whole 9 yards. So because it's French, we start with butter. Yeah.
Buh.
Buh.
Right?
Burr.
Right.
Burr. And I am going to mix it in a bowl today because, you know, I usually use a KitchenAid mixer, but not everyone has a KitchenAid mixer, so we're going to soften our butter. And the most important part of any cake is to take your butter or your fat, whatever you're using, and your sugar, and we're going to fully incorporate those together. Anyhow. Hey, you guys are going to have to buy this cookbook because if you don't, you're not going to know how much I'm putting in this bowl. That's all I can say.
Mystery.
Right? Yeah.
An absolute mystery.
And I love it when I change those ingredients anyhow. So anyhow, we're going to mix these together. That's all we're going to do. Make sure it's nice and creamy. And you know, I have 7 grandchildren. I know that's shocking. It's shocking, 7 grandchildren.
Wow.
But this is usually the part where I pretend I like to cook with them, and they like to stir this up. I have a 3-year-old grandson that would pulverize this sugar and this butter. Okay? Easy. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add eggs in, one at a time, because we really don't want any shell in those. Move my flour a little bit. Okay? Egg number 1. And I actually put them in individually because if you don't, I think that it doesn't incorporate as well. Now, normal people would use a spoon, but because I'm a chef, we're using a spatula. We do everything with spatulas, I do believe. So far, not bad, huh, Sean?
It looks good to me. Looks very good.
Second egg. Thank God this isn't one of those recipes that have 90 eggs. Okay. So, how long have you been at Dallas College?
I have been in the program for a year.
Yeah.
I started right kind of when COVID hit. I looked up the program because it was something I always wanted to do. And I saw that they had a fast track program, which was amazing. And it was all block scheduling, and they kind of did it for you. So
Perfect.
yeah, I hopped in right into the pastry program, and here we are.
Well, you know, today we're cooking because we have this incredible cookbook with the 24-hour Dallas.
Yes.
And this is our second cookbook, and I'm excited that this year we get videos.
Yes.
And I'm even more excited that you get to share the camera with me today.
Absolutely, me too.
So, number 3. This is the part where the 3-year-old now says, number 9. I said, no, that's 3, but he's learning.
He's trying. You know,
Yeah.
he's trying.
Okay, there you go. That's what it should look like. Now, I can't say enough about spooning flour. I cook in metric just because, I don't know, they beat that into me in France. So here's what you're going to do. We usually have smaller spoons, but flour has changed so much throughout the years that you want to spoon this in. If there's one thing I could teach home bakers is to use a scale and use the metric system. But if not, you want to get a little bit of air in that flour, and you're going to level it off. But this is really the easiest way to make sure you have an accurate measurement. Okay? Luckily, I pre-measured this out.
Luckily.
Right? Okay.
So we're just double checking.
But it doesn't ever hurt to double check.
Oh, no.
Okay? Put this in slowly. The clang of my measuring cups. Putting these away because they're like a one-man band down there. Okay? We're going to fold in all this flour. Hey, did you see the neat little trick I did? Because, once again, I'm a grandma, I put my wet dish towel underneath this bowl so it doesn't slide all over the place. Now, I did that because my grandmother taught me that a long, long time ago.
that is a top tip, or else you'll have
Yeah,
butter splayed,
everywhere.
cabinets.
Okay, so far we just have a paste with butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. Easy. It looks a little thick. This doesn't have any milk product in it, which is kind of, or any dairy, which is kind of interesting. The next thing I'm going to put in is I have a combination here. Salt, baking powder, which will make it rise, and because it's a French cake, the French absolutely hate cinnamon, so I put cinnamon in it just because they hate it. There you go. All right. We're going to mix this. How's the apple? The apple's going good?
Apples are going great.
Perfect. You're pretty fast there, by the way.
Thank you. I used to make a lot of apple fritters for a donut shop, so I used to have to do this every morning.
You're a godsend. I love apple fritters, That's
Right?
just it. We were meant to be on the road together.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, this is the part where you better hurry up, girl.
I know. Get my life together over here.
I added a little bit of vanilla. So once again, a thick paste. Can you just imagine some like French grandma making this all the time?
I feel like this would be good as a layer cake as well.
You almost done with those?
Oh yeah, we're coming down the finish line.
If not, I'm going to give them the tip on this cake.
Well, don't let it get in the way.
The other thing besides cooking with metric, buy some parchment. You can buy that at any of the cooking stores. And I learned this recently from a friend of mine who's a baker in St. Louis. I think she's one of the best bakers. Her name's Helen Fletcher. Helen Fletcher never sprays all over her pan. She does this, puts it in the middle, little dot there. She puts her piece of parchment down, and she does this. And that's all.
Really?
I know, is that crazy? And I'll tell you what happens. And I was intrigued. I watched her during COVID on videos or on Zoom, and she said the reason she does that is because if you take the spray or if you butter the sides of your pan, that the sides of your cake lower and slide down and it domes up. And so if you don't, and if it sticks a little bit around the sides of your pan, it will bake totally even. And I'm like, wow, I've been baking 48 years. I learned something today.
It's amazing. Almost like a souffle kind of like technique where you have to like put stuff on the side of the walls.
Apples. That's a lot of apples, but
lot
it's
of
worth it. There you go. Okay.
Looks great.
Okay, I'm going to give you this one.
Please.
Simple, simple, simple. Now all we're really going to do is coat those apples, and I don't ever do those apples in advance or else they get ugly colors. I mean, this is something you really just have to do last minute. Okay? Hardly any cake in that. And now we're going to take it and dish it right in there.
I love the ratio to apples to cake.
Oh, yeah.
That's my kind of recipe.
It seems like this is kind of a healthy cake now that you have all those apples
This is like
in
a
it.
protein bar. It's wonderful.
I would never be able to say that out loud. Okay, I'm going to give you this again because you're
Yes.
my trusty assistant.
Absolutely.
I'm going to smash this down. And this is the other trick to this cake. This is, I think, one of my favorite parts of this cake. There you go. That should screw up the camera and the sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to just sprinkle this over the top. And what happens is it gives it a little bit of a crustiness when it comes out, and it also, once again, keeps it level so it doesn't come. And they say do a little, so that to me means do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
All right. I think they're there. Let's throw that thing in the oven.
Right, in the oven she goes.
Well, while that cake is in the oven, Sean, I got to tell you, the best sauce for that cake is this rosemary caramel. Ooh. And it's just really a caramel sauce that we steep rosemary in. But if there's one thing you're going to learn in culinary school, learn how to make a caramel sauce, because that's a thing chefs mess up every single time. So as long as you got that, you've got it in any kitchen.
Absolutely.
Okay? So what we're going to do is, this is kind of different. We're going to put a little bit of apple cider in there to start with. Also going to put some butter. Well, I'm going to wait on the butter. Let's put that sugar in first, because one of the things you want to do is you never really want to take a sugar and let it seize in the pan. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make that sugar wet. We're going to get all the dry sugar in with the wet
Oh, that went really quickly.
Apple cider, yeah.
Perfect.
And then we're going to put some butter in it. Now, the trick to caramel is turn that on and don't touch that pan.
Wait.
Because really what we're waiting for, let's give it a little pinch of salt just to be on the safe side. You don't want to touch the pan, you don't want the sugar to seize, and it will if you touch that pan and move it in any way. So the trick is let it come up to 230 degrees. As soon as it gets to that, we're going to add this heavy cream. Okay?
Would you say you need a candy thermometer for this? Or?
You do, but
Okay.
you know what? Today you're with me, and we're going to see it.
I love that.
Well, we're getting close. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit of amber around the sides, and can you see those big bubbles?
Yes.
That means that down below you've got very hot sugar. Soon we're going to have caramel. So what we're going to do when this gets just to the right temperature, I'm going to put about 1/3 of this heavy cream in, because when the fat and the liquid hit that sugar, it'll explode a little bit. Not like crazy explode, but a little bit. And then we're going to let it die down a little bit. I'm going to let you stir, but not too fast because you don't want it to come over. And then we'll put another 1/3 in and the 1/3. So what do you think? You think we got good color there?
I like the color,
You like the color? All right, here we're going to do the first 1/3. So, ooh, look at that. Perfect.
Nice.
Okay, lift that spatula. We're going to do another one. Watch that sugar, it'll burn you. Third one. I'm dripping. Okay, last one.
There we go.
Okay, so what I really do now is I just kind of take that spatula out, let it cook just a little bit longer until you get the color that you want. I don't know if you can see that color in there, but it's starting to really caramelize to the point where it's a light caramel, this one. And you know, a caramel could be any color. You can go probably 30 seconds longer and you'd have a dark caramel. The thing that I like about this is we're going to throw that rosemary sprig in there.
That's so good. I love
And you're going to let that rosemary steep in there. You know, some people like a lot of rosemary like me. I would let it steep in there a couple hours. If it's that hot, that sugar's that hot, it technically only needs to get in there about 5 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah, it smells
Exciting.
great.
Volunteer to do this in every kitchen you work in.
I
now.
will. I'll
All
come
right.
with the rosemary.
Oh my gosh, this kitchen smells amazing.
Right?
Doesn't
Like
it?
apples, stunning.
It smells like fall. So, hey, listen, let's just loosen this up just a little bit.
Right.
I always give it a twist. I need some extra help sometimes, so there you go.
You don't want half of it to stay in the pan, right?
You want to see my other trick?
Oh, yes.
Watch this.
Oh, look at that.
Perfection. There we go. All right, I say we dig into this. What do you
Yes.
think?
Looks so moist.
It is.
Because of those apples.
All
Love
those
that.
apples. Use this little fork to help us. I'm cutting a smaller one for me, Sean. There we go. All right, what do you think? You get to put the caramel on.
Oh,
since
okay.
you
Let's
did
see.
such a good job.
Let's see the drizzle action that we can get. From up above. Oh yeah, look at that.
Put extra on mine.
Special
Okay.
request.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks awesome.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Is that what they say when they eat cake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I could eat about 10 of these.
Yeah. Then you'd be my size. All right, I expect you never to ruin a caramel ever again.
I shan't.
Okay, there you go. And make this with your grandkids one day.
Oh, I will.
All right.
Plus.
Thank you, guys.